So my advice would be to put in one goal. Start with one goal. And once you've achieved that one goal, then set another goal. Because no one says you need to create a whole list of goals at the beginning of the year. And no one says that if you've achieved one, you can't start another one. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Quality of Life Quest. My name is Anneke. So far in this short series, you've looked back, you've mapped out where you are, you've found your North Star, and what we're discussing today is what are your goals for 2026, but what is your goal? Because I think it's better to take it one at a time. I've been there, I've done that. Tried more than one at the same time. For me, it didn't work. You might be different, but there you go. So imagine it's the end of 2026. It's New Year's Eve and you're looking back on the year. What is it that you want to achieve? What do you want your life to be like? What is it that would make you feel satisfied or overjoyed or accomplished? And as I said before, it's easy to make a list of goals. You know, I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, I want to be rich, I want to meet the love of my life, and the list goes on. I can make a very long list for myself as well. I think one of the main things is choose one, because it's easier to concentrate on one goal than on lots at the same time. In order to achieve your goal, you have to do something that's different from how you've done things up till now. Otherwise, you would have achieved your goal already. So if you have a list of goals, then you have to change lots of different things in your life in order to achieve all those goals. And a lot of change in your life is really, really difficult to maintain at the same time because it's all different and your brain grows everywhere. Maybe you can manage. I don't know. My personal experience and my personal advice would be to take it one at a time. Now, how do you know which goal to go for? For that, you can write down your list of goals. You know, you can make a list of, I would like to live in this kind of house and I would like to have that kind of car. I would like to reach a particular fitness goal. I'd like to spend X amount of time with friends and family. You know, you can figure out a list. But out of that list, which one thing would be most likely to influence all the others? And that's a very personal thing to you. Maybe for you it is spending more time with your family. If you spend more time with your family, you're more likely to achieve other things on your goal list, your wish list, so to speak. For me personally, it has been health. Health for me was key in achieving other goals on my to-do list. And I'm not quite there yet, but there's definite progress and I'm well on my way, if that makes sense. So once you've chosen your one goal, you check your goal against your North Star. So you've got your wish list of goals. You choose one goal that you think will have the biggest influence on your life. And then you check that particular goal against your North Star. Is it in line with your ultimate way of being, whatever that is for you? If it's a no, choose something else. If it's a yes, proceed. Then you want to make it a SMART goal. It's a relatively simple way to remember. Each letter stands for another word. So SMART. The S is for simple. The M is for measurable. A is achievable. R is realistic. And the T is timed towards. Do you prefer ad-free listening and viewing? Would you like to see your questions answered? And how about live Zooms? Would you enjoy discounts on everything from artwork to courses to one-on-one chats with me? Become a founder member. Go to thequalityoflife.quest to find out more. See you on the other side. If you want to make your goal smart, say, I want to lose weight, for example, which is true for me. How can that be simple? Well, losing weight in itself is nice, but just losing weight in itself is not very precise, is it? For me, it needs to be fat that I lose. I would also like to gain a little bit of muscle. And the fat, I would like it to be to go from certain areas in my body. So for me, it's my tummy. I would like my tummy to be a bit more flat and my abs to shine through. That would be the ultimate goal. So if I go for losing weight, for example, a simple way would be to say, I want my belly fat to be a certain percentage. There's a way you can measure it. There's little pinchers you can get. And if you put the pincher on your love handles, it can tell you how much fat there is. So you can say, I want my belly to have this amount of fat. Next thing is measurable. Can you measure it? If you just say, oh, I want to lose weight, that's, half a kilo and I'm done, which half a kilo is not very much. I could skip lunch and that would be, half a kilo not ingested and I would be fine. But that's not what I want. So it needs to be really exact, measurable. So again, with the pinchers, I can measure how much fat there is on my belly. Next, it needs to be achievable. And is it achievable for me personally to lose fat on my belly? We'll find out. Sometimes you have to experiment with things. In the past, there's been less belly fat. So I would think it's possible, it's achievable for me to have less belly fat on my abs. Is it realistic for you? It's interesting to hear people talk about themselves and then their interactions with other people. For me personally, if I talk to someone about podcasting and certain goals I have in podcasting, there are people who say, oh, great, amazing. There are also people who say, not in a million years, which is fine, but what is it for you? Do you believe within yourself that you can achieve it? And then there's timed towards. So again, coming back to the belly fat example, if I were to say, oh, it's January now and my belly fat is, I don't even know, let's say 50% for want of a better percentage. Let's say it's 50% belly fat. And I will say by the 1st of April, it's 15. I don't know if that's possible. It seems like a lot. And then again, you need to leave a bit of mystery there as well. Setting goals is one thing, but there needs to be space for serendipity. I don't know how much serendipity there's going to be with belly fat, because I'm definitely not going to have a planned operation to have it cut away. But when it comes to finances, and if you are, for example, self-employed and you set goals for, oh, I want a certain income over a certain amount of time, do you want that to be net income or do you want it to be general income, whatever people are paying you? And you can work it out, and then you need to leave some space for, there's one client who buys up your entire inventory, for example. Those things can happen. And if you plan too rigidly, you take away a bit of the magic that's possible. So, as I said, one goal at a time. I'm very bad at doing this myself. I tend to overplan. So I remember a time, it is a long time ago now, where I studied to be a trainer of jazz ballet. I was teaching jazz ballet. I had to train my own skills in jazz ballet. I went to the Agricultural University of Wageningen. I went to the University of Amsterdam, and I was working part-time. And that was just a tad too much. Looking back at it, what should have been struck off the list was the University of Amsterdam, because even though I enjoyed the idea of the courses, which was about businesses and how they go through their life. So you start with a one-man band and you end up with a multinational. How do you go through each stage and how can you manage that? I really, really enjoyed the subject, but it was done by the sociology department. And flipping heck, that's definitely not precise enough for me. I like my facts to be facts, not just fluffy bits that you can move around. Anyway, so with hindsight, I should have let that one slide. I did get my jazz ballet diploma and I started training and all the rest of it. And I did several things at the University of Wageningen. And part-time work was going well as well. I ended up working there full-time. So my advice would be to put in one goal. Start with one goal. And once you've achieved that one goal, then set another goal. Because no one says you need to create a whole list of goals at the beginning of the year. And no one says that if you've achieved one, you can't start another one. It's just my personal experience to keep it simple and do one at a time. So let me know in the comments, what is your goal? What are you going to achieve? And what is your SMART goal? How did you split it up? How are you going to achieve it? I'm really curious and you might inspire someone else. Thank you for listening. May the road rise up to meet you. Until next time. See you. Bye.